So we have got the Fitbark dog activity monitor. Following on from last week's review of the whistle activity monitor, we're looking at the Fitbark. As you'll notice straight away, if you look at the size of the device, it's much smaller, and they're very keen to emphasise that, as you can see from their packaging. So without further ado, let's open it up and have a look inside. So if we pull back, you'll see that they've got several different languages. We're going to go from the left and we'll go to the right. We've got attach monitor, take action. It fits dogs of every size, and you can see from here it is extremely small. This is the size of my fingernail, maybe about twice the size of that. It's rugged and waterproof, just like the whistle. 3D accelerometer. It syncs using Bluetooth. Now, that's the same as the whistle activity monitor, however it does not have Wi-Fi, so whether that's a good or a bad thing, that's for you to decide. It charges via micro USB, which is fantastic because there are so many of us that have spare smartphone chargers or any other type of charger that's micro USB enabled, and it means that even if you lose the one that comes with the product, you'll still be able to charge it up, which is fab, and cheap replacement ones as well. You can monitor rest, activity and play, and it tracks that within the software, and I'll be showing you some screenshots of that later from Roxy's. You're able to track patterns, compare to similar dogs, and yourself. You can link, although I've not done it personally, your Fitbit, I almost said Fitbark there, your Fitbit to the Fitbark, and you can monitor your progress against your dogs, which I think is a really quite a cool intuitive feature. You can compare to similar dogs, I've already mentioned that, but unfortunately that process I've not done. It seems to be quite lengthy and time consuming, so I've not done that yet. You can share activity reports with your vet. Well, I've never had the need to do that. Roxy's always been pretty fair health. And share moments and memories. I think every app is enabling you to do that. Just a quick shout out, I mentioned earlier about the Wi-Fi not being enabled. You can purchase the Fitbark Wi-Fi base station, which will wirelessly sync with the device when it's nearby. However, off the top of my head, I think it's about £50. For me, it's really not worth it. The device can hold up to 7 days worth of data on it before it has to be synced. There's no way my phone's not going to be nearby little Roxy in that amount of time. So, very quick look at the device over here, designed in Italy, made in the USA. I really actually quite like the packaging, and you can see the device inside of it. So, without further ado, here we go. That's the device just there on the right hand side. It's just on a simple plastic tray, and I'm just going to go pick it up now. You'll be able to see how tiny it really is. These little plastic bands here are designed to go over the collar, and I'll show you exactly how that works later on. I'll just show you a brief look at the measurements of the device now. There we are, struggling to get it out. It's not particularly big. In fact, it is very small. It sits beautifully and snugly on your dog's collar. You can see the logo just along the front, just there. You can see on the back, this is where, if I'm able to turn it around, this is where you peel away, and you're able to see that micro USB charger. Now, obviously, it's incredibly important that for the device to remain waterproof or watertight, that little black rubber, well, hole there is filled in with this little bit of material, and that way it keeps the device functioning even when Roxy goes for a bit of a swim, and she's more than partial for doing that. Now, I personally opted to go for the red colour. The reason being is because Roxy's collar is red, and we think it stands out really beautifully on her. So bear with me and we'll have a look at it with the collar. So here's the device on the collar, and as you can see, it fits really streamlined in a really streamlined fashion. It's fantastic how brilliantly well it fits onto the collar, and you just cannot tell. You really can't. As I said, the reason we went for the red is because Roxy seems to stand out. She has that sort of stereotypical dog look about her when she has a red collar on. I think it complements her coat colour beautifully. And as you can see, you really cannot tell that this thing is on there. It is by no means obtrusive. It by no means gets in the way. In fact, it's of a very comparable size to her actual identification tag, which she wears without having any fuss whatsoever, which is fantastic really. They're able to fit so much kit into such a small amount of space. So I'll put this on Rox and you'll be able to see what it looks like on her. So this is little Rox just here, and that is the device on her. You can say hello to the camera. Roxy, what's this? Are you going to sit? What's that? You're too interested in the camera, aren't you? But as you can see, it is fantastic really. There's not much of a profile on it at all. You can't particularly, let's see if we can get a better view. No, she's not going to let us. You can't particularly see it, can you? And you don't seem to be bothered either by it, do you, Roxy? Hey, not too bad. So we've looked at the aesthetics of it, and for me it gets a massive thumbs up in that department. However, the one area that we've got to think about is the price, the cost of it. Now, I mentioned in my other review of the Whistle Dog Activity Monitor, although I did buy it from eBay, so it was second-hand, it was only £20. However, to buy this from new, you can buy it from Amazon UK. It is £59.95, so it's 60 quid. It's a little bit of a treat for both yourself or your dog. There are lots of different colours that you can purchase it in. There's sort of like a greeny blue, like a turquoise colour, a pale blue colour, the red, which is the one that you see here, the greyish black, and the pink. For me personally, is it worth 3 times the amount of the Whistle? Well, if you've got a spare £60 lying around, and not many people do, but if you do fancy treating yourself, if you do fancy having something that is a really nice piece of kit, then I would advise that you go for this. Out of all the different dog activity monitors there are currently on the market, this one is most certainly my favourite. You can see this is how it connects on. There's just a little rubber band that goes around the back. And it's fantastic, really. It just seems to stay in place, it never seems to move around. It's a lovely bit of kit. And I think what I'll do now is show you a very quick picture. This is from the back of the packaging, actually. It shows you what the software looks like. Now, this is a perfect example. They haven't updated the software since I've purchased it. This is exactly what my device looks like on my phone. You have a certain amount of activity, or bark points they call it, that you have to achieve. They have some fancy algorithm for working that out. And that there, the number above in the bold, is the amount that you have achieved, well, say your dog has achieved throughout the day. And they break down the points into different areas. So for example, play is sort of like vigorous activity where they're running around, perhaps at the park. Active might be where they're just wandering around the home. Rest, well, as the name implies, they're probably lying down dog tired after running around and being active for this long. And it also tells you how many points you have got left in order to meet your day. So as I was saying, you go throughout the day and it will plot the amount of activity that you're doing. It's quite handy. You can see very clearly the amount of hours that you have with the sun up in the sky and with it being dark as well. So very clever. I presume it must do that through geolocation, and it plots around the day how much activity your dog has been getting, and it also shows you that green little line there that runs across the top is the goal that you've set yourself. So in this particular person's case, 5,000 bark points, and whether you've met that over the course of the week. And it's quite nice. It will routinely send you a little message from the app to let you know if you've done it. So I'll just let you pause. You're more than welcome to read that out. You don't need me to read it for you. But no, the app is really slick. It's very smooth. It's extremely intuitive. I personally love it. I think it's really well put together, and hopefully they're just going to keep on improving upon it as time goes by.